Welcome to Deep Dive Discover.
Hey, everyone.
We're back, continuing our journey through Kai-Fu Lee's book, AI Superpowers, China, Silicon Valley, and the New World Order.
Right. Last time we kind of sketched out the big picture, the main arguments.
Exactly. Today, though, we're zooming right in. We're going to really unpack the timeline. How do we actually get here?
Yeah, our mission today is to pull out those key moments, those, historical turning points.
We want to connect the dots for you, show how these specific events, decisions, even cultural shifts, they all sort of led up to the AI world we see now.
And maybe even give a little glimpse of what might be coming next.
And honestly, you might find yourself thinking, wait, that happened then, because some of these moments are genuinely surprising.
Oh, definitely. We're talking fierce business battles, unexpected choices.
And even some really personal stories like Kai-Fu Lee's own journey that show how everything kind of converged.
Okay, so where do we start? The very beginning.
Let's do it. The foundations. Pre-2000s and the early 2000s. The seeds of disruption, as Lee calls them.
Okay, so pre-2000s, what was the landscape like? Well, in China, you had decades, literally decades, of the government trying to build up its own chip industry.
Indigenous chips, right?
Yeah. But frankly, without a whole lot of success, it just wasn't really working on a global scale.
Meanwhile, over in Silicon Valley.
Totally different story. Private companies were already dominating chip development.
Yeah.
Huge contrast right from the start.
And what about AI research itself back then?
Well, that was the era of, the AI winters. Lots of stops and starts.
Right. The focus was on symbolic systems, like programming rules.
Exactly. Trying to make AI think like humans by feeding it explicit logic. Great for games like chess.
But not so great for the real world.
Yeah, kind of brittle, hit a wall with messy, unpredictable stuff. So interest would fade, funding would dry up these winters.
It makes you wonder, though, if those winters hadn't happened, if progress had just been slow and steady.
Would deep learning have seemed like such a revolution? Or would it have just been another step?
Yeah. Is a fall sometimes necessary for a bigger leap? That's an interesting thought.
It really is. It's like the field needed that reset.
And you see individual stories reflecting this, too, like Kai-Fu Lee, his early life.
Yeah, building his own foundation. Grew up in the U.S., was practicing Christianity.
And even back then, that intense focus on work, prioritizing career.
Absolutely. Already kind of putting work ahead of personal life, setting a pattern, you could say.
Okay, so then we hit the turn of the millennium, early 2000s. Things start moving faster.
Definitely. 1999 is a key year.
Yeah.
Kai-Fu Lee starts Microsoft Research Asia, MSRA. Huge deal.
And here's a great story. His, top pick to recruit, Lu Kingfeng.
Yeah, brilliant guy. But he actually turned Lee down.
No way. What did he do instead?
He started his own AI company, speech recognition, iFlight Tech.
And that company.
Later became massive, even surpassed big American players like Nuance.
Wow. So that one choice, imagine if he'd said yes to Microsoft.
Right. How many little decisions ripple out like that?
Yeah.
It's kind of mind-blowing.
Okay, what else is happening early 2000s? The internet's bubbling up.
Yeah, Friendster launches. Remember Friendster?
Vaguely. Seems like ancient history now.
Yeah. Well, it catches the eye of this PhD student, Wang Zheng, over in Delaware.
Okay.
He gets so interested, he actually drops out of his PhD program to go back to China and clone it.
Bold move. Did it work?
His first try failed, actually. But, the entrepreneurial bug had bitten.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be back.
And meanwhile, search engines are taking off in China. Baidu emerges.
Right. And they really figure out how to beat Google locally. It wasn't just about being Chinese.
It was about understanding users.
Exactly. Little things like opening search results in new windows. Sounds small, but it fit how Chinese users browsed back then. Google didn't do that.
That's smart. Tailoring the product.
And you saw the same thing with e-commerce. eBay comes into China.
And gets smacked down by Alibaba's Taobao.
Pretty much. Fierce local competition. These were the early signs that the Chinese market was just different. Way more intense than Silicon Valley was maybe used to.
Anyone listening who remembers using Friendster or eBay back then? Wild how fast things change.
Totally. Okay, so that sets the stage. Let's jump forward, the 2010s.
Right. Lee calls this the decade of the gladiators in China, and the government's vision starts to shift too.
Yeah, this is where Chinese market dominance really starts taking shape. Kicks off around 2009, 2010.
What happens then?
Well, 2009, Kai-Fu Lee founds Sinovation Ventures. He wants to build this startup ecosystem.
But runs into a cultural hurdle.
A big one. convincing parents that joining a startup is actually a respectable career path for their kids.
Ah, right. It
Yeah.
wasn't just about money, it was status, stability.
Exactly. He literally had to go and persuade parents, like, no, this is a real thing. It's not just some crazy gamble.
That's fascinating. Which brings up that question, right? How vital is government support in that kind of cultural mindset shift?
Crucial. Because around 2010, you see the Chinese government itself changing its tune.
Moving beyond just engineers building roads and bridges.
Yeah, they realized they needed leaders who could both build and create ideas. A shift towards innovation, not just infrastructure.
And you see this in action.
Absolutely. Look at Guan Hong. He was an official in charge of Beijing's tech zone, Zhongguancun.
Okay.
He gets this vision, inspired by Silicon Valley, to turn Zhongguancun into a real hub for Chinese innovation. Not just copying, but creating.
How does he do it?
Start small and experiment, really. Offering things like rent subsidies to attract startups. Sinovation Ventures was one of the early ones they attracted, building a sandbox.
So you've got this top-down government vision starting to align with this like bottom-up entrepreneurial energy.
Exactly. And that mix fuels the next phase, the war years, early to mid-2010s.
This is where the gladiator thing really comes in.
Oh, yeah. The domestic competition goes into hyperdrive. It's unbelievably fierce.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Okay, get this. Renren, a social network, basically clones another one, Kaixin001, but then they also buy the domain name kaixin.com, slightly different spelling, and make their clone look identical.
Whoa, essentially hijacking their users.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Total kidnapping of the user base,
Yeah.
ruthless.
Yeah.
Or the 3Q war between Kihu 360 and Tencent.
That was huge, right? A
Yeah.
massive fight.
Absolutely brutal, no holds barred.
And then the War of 1,000 Groupons.
Yeah. Groupon was big in the US, so suddenly China has hundreds, maybe thousands of copycat group buying sites pop up.
Insane competition.
Totally. Just a bloodbath. And guess who founds his next big thing during this chaos?
Wang Xing, the guy who tried to clone Friendster.
The very same. He starts Meituan,
Wow.
which, spoiler alert, becomes absolutely massive.
Okay, so intense competition. What else defines this era?
O2O. Online to offline, this explodes.
Integrating online services with the real world.
But like on steroids. Food delivery, booking appointments, ride-hailing, everything integrated, seamless. It became part of the fabric of daily life super quickly.
And mobile payments were key to that, right?
Absolutely essential. Alipay, WeChat Pay, they took off at lightning speed. People just stopped carrying cash in big cities.
There's that crazy story about the robbers in Hangzhou.
Right. March 2017. These two cousins try to rob convenience stores and find almost no cash. Everyone's using mobile pay.
Hilarious, in a way. Shows the scale of change.
Totally. And in ride-hailing, Didi Chuxing crushes Uber China. Just dominates the market.
While all this market craziness is happening, what's the government doing?
They launched the Mass Innovation and Mass Entrepreneurship Campaign. Big
So much
push.
support, incentives.
Tons of it.
Mhm.
Local governments set up these guiding funds for startups. Went from like $7 billion in 2013 to $27 billion just 2 years later in 2015.
Wow, pouring fuel on the fire.
Deliberately, a conscious effort to build this ecosystem.
Okay, this kind of rapid fire, sometimes brutal competition and change. It's exactly the kind of stuff we love digging into here on Deep Dive Discover. So if you're finding this as fascinating as we are and you haven't yet, maybe take a second to like this or hit subscribe.
Yeah, it really helps us keep bringing these deep dives to you.
Okay, so that intense period sets the stage for the next big shift, the AI tipping point, mid-2010s onwards.
Right. This is where deep learning really changes everything. AI research gets this massive boost.
What drove it?
3 things kind of came together. 1, way more data. 2, much more powerful computers. And 3, better algorithms, especially neural networks coming back into vogue.
Neural networks. Unlike the old symbolic AI, these could learn from data.
Exactly. They learn patterns from huge data sets instead of needing rules programmed in. This unlocked huge leaps in computer vision, understanding speech, understanding language.
The stuff that makes modern AI feel so powerful.
Precisely. And around 2012, internet AI becomes the norm. Using these algorithms for recommendations, personalization.
What you see on Amazon, Netflix, Google.
Yeah. And the Chinese tech giants, Baidu, Alibaba, Tencent, the BTs, they had so much user data, they became dominant AI players almost overnight.
And the focus shifted, right? Less about pure research.
And much more about implementing deep learning.
Yeah.
Finding practical uses for it, getting it out into the market fast.
Which was maybe a challenge for Silicon Valley.
Yeah, arguably. The Valley culture was often more about, pure innovation, mission-driven companies, they sometimes struggled with China's incredibly fast market-focused, sometimes copycat approach.
We saw Google and Facebook stumble there.
Right. Localization was hard, competition was different.
And this is also when the super app really emerges in China, like WeChat.
Oh yeah, WeChat becomes this all-in-one platform. Messaging, payments, services, ride-hailing, everything. Indispensable.
While this is happening, China's also catching up in AI research itself.
Significantly.
Yeah.
Chinese researchers start publishing way more, contributing more to the global field,
Oh.
closing the gap with the U.S. fast.
And companies start using AI for business stuff. Beyond just recommendations.
Yeah, like using AI for microlending. Smart Finance, for example, by late 2017, they were making over 2 million small loans a month using AI algorithms.
With low default rates.
Incredibly low. Way better than traditional banks could manage for those kinds of loans. Also applying AI to things like medical image analysis, diagnostics.
Okay, so let's pinpoint some key milestones in this AI revolution phase.
Okay, 2013. Back in Zhongguancun, Guo Hong starts physically building the avenue of the entrepreneurs, making the vision concrete.
And Diane Ping, the Yelp clone, starts getting into food delivery.
Yeah, investing heavily in building out their own logistics. That becomes a key difference later.
June 11, 2014, the avenue officially opens.
Then 2015, a mass innovation campaign really ramps up. Thousands of new incubators pop up.
And the shared bikes arrive. Mobike, a foe.
Yes. Suddenly, cities are flooded with these brightly colored bikes. Completely changes urban transport overnight almost.
Then March 2016, a huge moment.
AlphaGo versus Lucidol.
The Go match.
Watched by over 280 million people in China online. It was like their Sputnik moment. Suddenly, everyone saw the power and potential of AI.
Galvanized the whole country.
Big time. National focus shifted towards AI leadership. And just a few months later, October 2016, the Obama White House releases its own AI plan for the U.S.
The race is officially on.
You could really feel it. Also in 2016, that sci-fi novelette, Folding Beijing, wins the Hugo Award.
Right, depicting this tech-driven class divide, eerily relevant.
Very. Then look at August 2017. In the U.S., Grubhub buys Yelp's Eat24. Kind of an acquisition play.
While in China.
The O2O companies are already deep into building their own massive delivery networks. Different strategy.
In July 2017, the New York Times reports on China's official plan.
Made in China by 2030. The ambition laid bare for the world.
The scale by late 2017 is just staggering. Xiaomi's smart home network.
85 million devices. World's largest.
Mobike's daily rides.
22 million a day in China alone. That's way more than Uber's global daily rides the year before.
Incredible scale. November 2017, Baidu and Xiaomi team up on AI.
Strategic alliances forming. And Didi isn't just dominating China, they're investing internationally. Brazil's 99 Taxi.
Building an anti-Uber alliance.
That seemed to be the strategy. And Guo Hong, the official who started it all in Zhongguancun.
He leaves government.
Yeah. Goes to found a bank, Zhongguancun Bank, specifically to fund tech startups. Joins the ecosystem he helped build.
What a story arc.
And right in the middle of all this, 2017, Kai-Fu Lee gets his cancer diagnosis, lymphoma.
A huge personal blow amidst this technological whirlwind.
Totally. And it forced this deep reevaluation for him. He talks about realizing his relentless focus on work, on maximizing impact.
It was maybe missing the point.
Exactly. He shifted his priorities massively towards family, friends, love, human connection, even mentoring, but without focusing just on someone's potential impact.
A profound change. He thankfully went into remission later.
Yes. And it was actually his friend John Brockman who convinced him to write this book, AI Superpowers, sharing both the tech insights and this personal journey.
It adds such a powerful human layer to the whole story.
It really does. Okay, rounding out the timeline. Early 2018, Didi actually acquires 99 Taxi in Brazil.
Solidifying that global move.
Xiaomi's IPO is predicted at around $100 billion. Shows the massive valuation.
And Mobike, the bike-sharing giant.
It's acquired by Wang Xing's Meituan Dianping for $2.7 billion. Huge consolidation.
Wow. So that brings us more or less to the present day when the book was written. What's the snapshot?
Well, China has more high-speed rail than the rest of the world combined, symbol of that infrastructure focus. The AI race is fierce. U.S. often leading in core research, hardware.
China leading in implementation, using all that data.
Generally, yeah. AI is hitting finance, healthcare, retail, transport, everywhere.
They're even building new cities like Xiaoyan, designed around autonomous vehicles and AI.
That's the plan. And of course, all the big societal questions are front and center.
Job displacement, inequality, the future of work.
Universal basic income debates, new social contracts, it's all on the table.
So, looking back at this incredible acceleration, this whole timeline, what does it make you think about what's truly human? What becomes more valuable as AI takes over more tasks?
It really highlights that, doesn't it? Connection, creativity, empathy. Maybe those become even more critical.
This timeline is just relentless. Innovation, competition, adaptation, especially in China, just breakneck speed.
But woven through it is Kai-Fu Lee's story, that reminder about what really matters.
Right.
Purpose, connection, the human element.
So the final thought maybe is, as AI keeps accelerating, what's a responsibility? How do we make sure the future isn't just about algorithms?
How do we ensure empathy and human connection stay at the core? Is the big question.
What will you, listening now, do with this knowledge? Something to think about.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening, and we'll be back for more.